Hello guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the White Yoda podcast. I'm Ryan Dunkle, and for those of you that may be new to the podcast, I started this in order to take some of the things that I've learned on my path to success as a teenager and pass them along to anybody that may find some use in it. Guys, I have a very interesting topic for you guys today. It's something that had a tremendous influence on my life. It is a little bit difficult for me to talk about, so just bear with me, but I hope you guys enjoy episode 3. So, standing alone is a phrase that gets tossed around by pretty much everybody, and it's usually in an attempt to make themselves feel unique. We hear things like, be yourself, and don't be afraid to stand alone, and be different, and all of these are true. I mean, cliches are true for a reason, and you can live your life by these, but most people say these things without ever truly thinking about them. And the fact of the matter is that most of us don't understand what it means to be alone and to be ourselves despite what other people might think. And when we say these phrases in order to make ourselves feel better about chasing after people and constantly needing that approval. And for a very, very long time, this was my story. I wasn't a typical Southern kid, and so I was different, and I stood alone. But it wasn't by choice, and it wasn't something that I was particularly happy about. I was different from pretty much every one of my counterparts, and so I didn't really fit in. I didn't really have a lot of people that I would consider friends. So I spent a lot of middle school and in the early high school years chasing after people and needing that approval, thinking that would make me feel fulfilled and happy. And I didn't even realize I was doing this. And I thought this was happiness. I thought this was the way that things were supposed to be until my early high school. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't chasing people anymore. And I had this wonderful girlfriend. I had all of these people that I thought were my friends. People seemed to really enjoy my company. And I started really fitting in. I started joining the crowd. And at the time, I thought this was a good thing. Because I didn't really know who I was, and so I was getting lost in all of these people. And because of that, life determined that it was a really good time to teach me a lesson. And so within a very, very short period of time, everything that I knew and everything that made me happy fell apart. And I suddenly had these people that I trusted sort of turn on me, and it felt like they turned on me. They started spreading lies and rumors, and people would come up to me to try to get me riled up and try to get me to comment about the situation. And looking back, they were doing it because it was a way for them to stay relevant with their friends. I mean, these people didn't have anything else going for them other than the fact that they were the center of gossip and they knew everything that was going on in the school. So it was a way for them to feel better. And so I was hurt. It was something that was extremely painful. It's something that still kind of hurts to think about, but in a different way. And that pain lasted for quite a while until eventually all the lies and the rumors and the people coming up to me to disturb my peace, it got so common that I just kind of shrugged it off. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that situation kind of woke me up, and I realized that I had lost myself. I never knew who I was, and so I wasn't able to maintain myself, and I lost myself, quite frankly. And this situation, while it was extremely difficult, it turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to me. That being alone and not being able to trust anybody and having all these people always trying to disturb my peace, it changed me completely. I began to truly love myself. I started doing things that I wanted to do, regardless of how it might impact my image, because, I thought my image was shattered anyway. That was my opinion of things. And I started to be really happy being alone. I began to be more confident because I was learning a lot about myself. And so these things that people were saying started meaning less because I knew what the truth was. Most importantly, though, I found myself, and I figured out that my happiness and even my success weren't going to be determined by anybody else. I was going to determine those things. And so that trial and that struggle and all of that pain grew me into the person I am today. And it's a person that I'm extremely proud of. I love everything that's going on in my life. And by finding out that I was in control of my happiness, I'm now able to chase after things that I'm truly excited about, things that I truly love to do. And I succeed at a much higher level because I enjoy doing those things. And I see people every day in school, and they don't truly know themselves, and they especially don't know what they want and what makes them happy. And so they chase after people thinking that this is going to make them fulfilled. And so they have these awesome days, and they're all over the moon, and you're like, hey, what's going on? Why are you doing so good? And it's because certain people talked to them, or they said good things about them. And then they have these really crappy days, and you go to console them, and you're like, hey, what's wrong? I mean, are you okay? And it's because somebody said something bad about them, or somebody didn't talk to them. And these people, and I'm by no means looking down on them, because every single one of us, myself included, have gone through these situations or are currently going through these situations. But we don't realize the power that we hold. And we hold an incredible power. We have the ability to control our happiness and our success. And by chasing after these people and constantly needing their approval, we're handing over that control to them. And so now they control our happiness. And because of that, we're never truly happy. We just think we are. And so because we're not happy, we can never succeed because we're so focused on trying to be happy. So, guys, I am pleading with you to please take that lesson from me. Go ahead and skip all of that pain and just take my advice. Taking control of yourself and learning to take control of your happiness is something that's extremely difficult, and it's something that you're probably going to have to be alone to figure out. I was kind of fortunate enough, and it's really weird to say that because I was kind of forced to be alone. But it's not something you have to be forced to do. You can choose to be alone, and you're not gonna truly be able to reach success until you're okay with being alone and figuring out who you are and what you want. Learn to love your life, learn to love yourself, and to love all of the things that are going on in your life, regardless of what other people may think of it, because quite frankly, these people, their opinions on what makes you happy are irrelevant. And once you start doing all of these things, you can start bettering yourself, and you can start really developing and becoming a person that you're proud of, and that's the point where the real magic starts. It's at that point that everything in your life starts becoming successful. You start to manifest success in nearly every aspect of your life. And so with that, I'm going to start kind of wrapping this up with a quote, and it's more of a common saying. And it says, the hardest walk you can make is alone, but it's the walk that will make you stronger. And so guys, please take some time and be alone. Find out who you are. You have to be with yourself for the rest of your life. So it's essential that you find out who you are and you become comfortable with you. Have the courage to walk alone and then figure out how to love yourself and figure out who you are. And then watch as all of these people that hated on you and that judged you and were jealous of you, watch as they suddenly want to come back into your life. And then make sure that you also pay attention to the fact that you start caring less and less about the negative opinions of others. Because you've made that conscious decision that your happiness and therefore your success are not going to be determined by anybody else. And because you found yourself, you're going to be able to take advantage of your life, and you're going to be able to succeed all while being happy with yourself and the things you're achieving, regardless of anything bad that may occur or anybody that may treat you wrongly. So guys, have that courage to walk alone in order to find yourself and figure out what makes you happy, and then go out and attack life with everything you've got. Thank you.